Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 22 of my Refugee to Regent series. And today I wanted to try a little bit of an experiment just to see how laggy it is, and it looks like it might actually be a little bit too laggy. I decided to try to use the Invictus texture pack, which is a 64 by 64 texture. And I don't know how well it's going to work out. Oh, yeah, there's some lag. This might be dashing my dreams. Let's go for a little bit of a walk here. Oh, this is not good. It looks pretty. It does. But I don't think I can easily be recording while I'm using this texture pack. Oh, that looks pretty cool, the furnaces. But this lag, I don't know. I don't think this is going to work out for me. That's a bit of a bummer too, because this is pretty neat looking. Oh, look at that lag spike. Yeah, looks like I just am not going to be able to do it. That's a bit of a bummer. Okay. I guess I'll switch back to the normal one. I'll be back. Well, that certainly made everything a lot smoother and a lot sadder. So I guess I'll just have to deal with this. Maybe there's an in-between one that is as complete as the Invictus. No, well, there's some lag too, and I'm just using the default texture pack. Maybe, no, that's not it. I was thinking maybe it's been on too long, but no, I just loaded this up. Oh well. Anyway, today, aside from the disappointment with the texture pack, part of the agenda is going to be to complete the wall here. I'm going to need... Oh, look at that. I'm getting lag anyway. Maybe it wasn't the texture pack. Or maybe it wasn't entirely the texture pack. I need to complete the wall. It needs to be too thick all the way around. And I'll be building it out on the outside, so it'll take a little bit more than I used resources-wise to complete the wall, but that's alright. I also need to make it spider-proof. And after I'm done with that, I need to decide if I want to just torch the entire inner area of the city so nothing can spawn inside the city itself, or if I just want to kind of do that on the fly as I progress through the different structures and everything, and as the city expands. I'll have to decide on that. The oak wood I have plenty of for now, so that's good. And I've got quite a bit of resources from doing the mining down there. So what I need to do is figure out what structures I need to work on next. Obviously there's the wall. The sun's going down. That's alright. Why did I manually close that? Am I in the right... I must be in the right one. No, I'm not. I came to the wrong building. Haha. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Little desk in the hospital. Okay. So, let me hop on the computer here and figure out what I need to be working on next. And actually, I'll sleep off the night too. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, so the wall is done, and I have the spider ledge all the way around. It's too thick, goes all the way around the whole town. Used a lot of resources on it, but it is now complete. Actually, I think I used almost 2 barrels worth of cobblestone on making the walls and the tops. The entire top of the whole wall is half slab, so nothing can spawn on it. But there's no real easy way to get up on top of it yet. I used almost 2 whole barrels worth of cobblestone. Wow. But I think this is probably the longest time between clips that I've gone for recording an episode of anything ever, because the previous clip was recorded before Christmas time, and it is now the new year. So happy New Year to you guys. I was hoping to get an episode of this out last week, but I had forgotten it was Christmas weekend, so was not going to be able to do what I had planned on doing. And what I planned on doing was bringing in some more refugees. Well, actually, some mayors slash guild masters, whatever they're going to end up being. I'm going to introduce you to them presently. And yes, some of the guidelines are going to change for what I have written in the computer in my office, because now there are multiple players, but I will deal with that as that comes to bear. The first person here, this is Deep Sieger, and that is a Link. I think this is the Ocarina of Time Link skin.
Howdy.
I think. Hello. And he is going to be the Master of Arms, or Master at Arms, or however he put that. He's going to be in charge of like the armory and the additional watchtowers and other defenses that there are going to be for the town. And he will have his own office in the administrative building. How do I get down from here without hurting myself? There we go. And then
I'm still working on that part.
On the getting down without hurting.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need to figure out some more road situations. Also, on this stage, I need to start working on modifying the roads, because they can't be these every other one or every two spaces have a gravel. I think it needs to, if I remember correctly, it needs to be a continuous road now. I don't think it has to be too wide everywhere, but at least for the main roads, I probably am going to go too wide. And instead of gravel, I am definitely thinking of using gravel bricks, which I think I went over the gravel bricks before, but just in case. The recipe is just simply for gravel, and it makes a gravel brick like that. The other person is going to be the agricultural guild master. This is Mrs. Deep Sieger. Yes, they are a couple IRL, and this is you may recognize her from, if you watch my 7 Days to Die series. This is STL Bunny. Say hello,
Yo.
Bunny. Hello. And I have no idea if this is supposed to be a skin of someone that I'm supposed to recognize, or if this is just a random female skin.
No.
Should I recognize this?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, I felt concerned that I was supposed to know who this was, because obviously...
Random girl skin.
Okay, I was concerned, because obviously Link was Link, and I didn't know.
I used to have it set as Princess Zelda,
Ah.
but I just went pretty girl.
Okay, well then. She is going to be staying on top of the agriculture, and... in this stage, I'm going to be expanding the farms, because I believe I need one farm for each of the colors of sheep. And in order to keep on top of that, especially the breeding, there's going to need to be some more wheat. And that little bitty patch of wheat over there just isn't going to be enough to cut it. So I'm thinking what's going to happen is I'm going to have some small wheat farms behind each of the sheep farms, so that there is food, and I'm going to have to figure out how this is going to be laid out. I might...
I want a bucket.
You want a... Oh, I want a bucket so bad. But I might have to make some sort of flotilla farms? Maybe. I will have to decide on that.
Do you see how many sheep I've got you so far?
Yeah, I'm going to have sails on my ship soon, I bet. But as the sheep farms progress, let me bring up the overmap here. Uh, they are going to continue hugging around the outside of the city here, and I there's going to need to be 16 sheep farms because there are 16 colors of wool. So I'm going to have to get to work on that. I will probably make I might make one farmhouse for each of 4 colors. That way each house is in charge of 4, so I can have just 4 actual farms to simplify it a little bit. But uh, definitely am going to have to expand to the sheep farming uh, situation. But as far as projects are concerned, I think what I am going to work on is the road infrastructure next, and do the gravel bricks and set up the main roads and little side roads that go out. So that is just done and over with. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm going to need to start getting a bunch of gravel resources, but that's going to be awesome because while I'm doing that, I can continue having an income of wool for the sales and for future stock of wool, and also the cotton is being farmed and all that, so um, don't have to worry about food and staying on top of the food, and I can probably stop worrying about having to eat these raspberries all the time because they aren't as filling as other
I'm going to
types
be
of food.
expanding the baked potato situation, and we're going to be living off of baked potatoes.
Excellent. Baked potatoes are awesome. Now, I gave them the option of taking over elder houses, existing elder houses, and he is up here clearing an area for. He's going to have an overlook tower, so an additional watchtower inside this city, and it's also. I would assume you're going to have the armory next to this or as part of the structure.
You are correct, sir.
Excellent. So the armory is going to be covered in short order, and it is almost bedtime. Do you want to move a bed up here, like steal a bed from, say, the hospital, or do you want to find a place to sleep or something?
I'm probably going to find a place to sleep here.
Okay.
I just need to put down a couple more things.
Okay, because it is getting dark time, and we are going to need to worry about baddies spawning, because it's not all bright and shiny inside the city walls yet. So we are going to get to work on our various little projects. I'm going to go be a madman and harvest a whole bunch of gravel so I can get to work on the transportation. And when I come back, hopefully we will have a bunch of different things going and or done so I can have them to share with you guys. But we will be back in just a bit. Okay, so we have been hard at work and hardly working and have got a bunch of stuff going on. STL Bunny is over this way, playing in the farm area. She has connected the different sections of farm and expanded a little bit. And oh, potatoes, okay. And filled in some of the gaps. That way it's more efficiently used in here, which is nice. Leaving her in charge of that. And there's a horse inside the... Oh, and it tramped one of the pumpkin plants. Pooey.
He hopped off the fence.
Uh-huh.
That's not my fault.
I know. Now, you have been doing a bunch of work over here. Past the chickens. Breeding sheep and getting all kinds of wool. And making little babby sheep fall in love with you.
I think there are like 57 wool now.
Which is much more than I would have if I were left to my own devices because, well, I haven't been focusing on the wool and the cotton and all that. Huh. Some slightly tramped crops. And in order to keep up with the breeding needs, she has added a wheat farm over here, and I think I see another one over this way. Yes, a loose. What are you doing over here, chicken? How did... You know what? I
I
don't
threw
care.
some eggs around.
Oh, okay. Well then, you know what? I will... Oh, that's not an egg. I will throw another egg. Okay, no chicken. Oh well. But apparently the sheep can also be bred off of barley, so there's a little bit of a mix there. Oh, that's hilarious. The frying pan sticks out the window. That's kind of awesome. Anyway, also, aside from working on that, she was helping me over at the gravel beach over that way. Almost about 3/4 of a kilometer that way. And we gathered quite a large amount of gravel, which I then turned into...
Don't forget your wool.
Oh, the wool. Actually, I'm going to wait until there's a few hundred of it, because the sails on that ship are going to take up a lot of wool. So I guess just keep storing it over there. You said you were storing it in one of these? In here.
This locker.
Aha! Alright. So there's wool to be had. And, oh, she also managed to expand the sugar production, because sugar is needed for this white stone gravel. I went ahead and made the decision to make the roads out of the white stone gravel, because it takes gravel 1-for-1 and turns it into this, as opposed to taking 4 gravel to make 1 gravel brick. And you just take gravel and have that surrounding a single sugar in the middle, and it makes the white stone gravel, and I think it looks pretty good. I wanted to keep a white sort of road to go along with the scheme of the city here, so I have the roads going all the way around the lake to the main entrances in and out of the city, and it's actually helped me decide on some of the structures that I want to put where. Speaking of structures, if I come over this way, I'm going to be building a road that's going to come up over here. I'm probably going to have to do a little terrain modification, but that's alright. It's going to come up this side past the edge of this eyrie here, and there should be a way up, I hope. There we go. It's going to come up this way and go around, and he says that this is going to be a bailey, and this is also going to be where the armory and the barracks and, well, his eventual house is going to be. He likes curves, and so he is doing this...
True story.
This intersecting oval thing. Explain to the viewers who may not know, and me who is unfamiliar, what a bailey is.
A bailey is the big mound of dirt that you build a castle on top of. Motte and bailey, motte kind of being a earlier English word for moat, would be the pond or just canal around the bailey. So it's basically just a big mound of dirt you build a castle on top of, so that you have better lines of sight and a little bit more defense.
Okay, and this is taking up a larger area than my house, which is perfectly fine. Eventually my house is going to be probably a much larger structure anyway, especially if I'm reading the guidelines for the challenge correctly. But
Well,
Fun
I
that's
and
figured
educational.
fun
I
and
figured since
educational,
it's
yes.
my place and the barracks and the armory
Mm-hmm.
and potential bunkers and emergency food storage and emergency water supply and all of that other fun
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
I should give myself a little bit of room.
Yeah, and it's probably best you did this on the top of the hill anyway. It gives it a nice overlook over the city, except you can't see past the great wood trees, but that's fine. Eventually, the little tree grove areas are going to be moved outside the city. I think during the stage, I should probably do that, move them, I don't know, probably up on that hill over there, maybe. I don't want to do them over in that forest. I like that forest. I don't want to mess with it too much. I'll put a road through it, but I'm not really thinking of putting any structures in there. There's just the temple to Notch, and that's it. And other than roads, I don't really want to mess with that. But this is actually pretty impressive what you're doing here. I
Thank you.
definitely approve of this. I have not been watching what you've been doing and just been nose to the gravel stone, and I came up the hill and then there's this massive structure, so that's pretty awesome. But
Hey, wait, what happened to my hill?
We can breed the
yeah,
sheep multiple times a day. I just bred them again.
yes, you keep checking them to breed them, and we'll get wool much more quickly. And also stay on top of the cotton if you can.
I
I
always
know
do
I
that.
have a hard time doing that. Um, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. Eventually, the outer wall is probably going to have little fortifications at intermittent distances
It absolutely will.
we'll also have a larger walkway and everything, but for right now it's just the bare minimum wall that is needed for this stage. But yeah, especially once we get to the iron stage, the next one, things are going to really kick into high gear, especially because we'll be able to use better tools and be able to do things like dig up amber, for instance, and get that sort of stuff out of the way without spending half an hour
Buckets!
punching. What?
Buckets.
Buckets, yes, buckets. Farming good, buckets good. But I think what
The
I'm
whole
going to
farming area is
do.
getting completely redone once I get a bucket in my
Oh
hand.
man, you have no idea how much. Hey, you know what? Oh, we could do this next episode. Um, the stronghold that I had mentioned. If there's because there are three of us, if we go in with our wooden armor and some bows and get some good weapons set up, we might be able to start clearing our way through there. And there are, as I understand it, lots of chests. Not the stronghold, the roguelike dungeon. That's what it is. Um,
Hey,
and
sweetheart, did you just hear Switch say, hey, guess what, guys? We should go die?
yes, I
No.
did say that. Oh, and also for those of you who are confused, I have decided because of the memory leak for this little bit to turn it to peaceful so not as many mobs are spawning because I have been having memory leak issues because there are three of us playing on one computer right now. Well, playing on the server on one computer. So uh, right now there are no hostile mobs spawning, but I'm not really focusing on hostile mobs during this stage anyway, so I'm kind of just writing it off as a necessity. But I think what I'm
Mark.
going to do is see
Hey.
if there's some last minute
Hey.
touches. Huh?
Hey.
Hey?
You go die by yourself.
I go die by myself? No. We will be doing that in non-peaceful.
You go die by yourself.
No. No, no. We all need to go die together. You'll be the
Okay, I
bearer of
died.
the chicken legs.
I don't want to go die.
Sure you do. It'll be fun. You'll be able to test your spawn point.
Like the zombies?
Yeah, and the teleporting creepers and
The excuse me what?
Anyway,
I
I'm
am a
going.
farmer and a gatherer. You go fight the. That's what man at arms is for. This is not in my job description.
See how she just throws me under the bus like that?
Yes.
Right under the bus.
Anyway, I'm going to cut off here, see if there's some last minute stuff to work on, and then probably be back to wrap up the episode. But I just want to catch you guys up on the stuff and catch me up on the stuff that has been going on, especially this. This is pretty impressive here. So anyway, we'll be back in just a bit. Alright, a bit more stuff done. The layout of the outer wall of the castle, and keep in mind this is going to be the barracks, the armory, and a bunker, an emergency store, and a bunch of other functions, including his house. So it's fitting that it's some sort of giant castle. But the way it's going to be approached for defensive purposes is the road's going to come up here to a sort of gatehouse, and the road's going to come down. Decided to cut the white stone gravel into covers since I can use saws. I'd totally forgotten about the things for some reason. It's going to come around over this way, over the hill here, and go around this eerie biome, and then come down this hill. Probably going to grade it a little bit differently so it's a smoother slope, but it will come over here to the side of the trees, and it will butt into the road over here. So that's generally the plan. It is going to be a big looming structure up there, which is awesome because I had not intended, when I was working on this alone, I hadn't intended on making any structures like that, at least this early on. So having one already going, this is just blows my mind finding that up on the hill. But with a bunch of behind the scenes stuff happening and a bunch of other work that I need to get done aside from that, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. So, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to leave a message in the comment section below. If you like this video and you like what we're doing here, please feel free to give a like. We appreciate that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. One other note real quick before I finish wrapping up. I just remembered, because there are 2 more players, I am going to have to recalculate the populations of the city and the amounts of structures that need to be built and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that between episodes. This episode was spent primarily working on, well, him working on that, her working over outside in the farm area, and me working on the roads, which I need a lot more road work done. But I have all the main roads.
Yay, water can.
Oh yes, forgot. I
I'm using it right
made
now.
the water can, which was I'd forgotten that was available. Can make that using a bowl, some bone meal, and some cooked stone. So she's able to grow some plants over there much more quickly, and apparently things are working out fine over there. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to be working on calculating how many new structures need to be built and what needs to go on because of the additional players. But at least for right now, the brunt of the work is the stuff that doesn't rely on population. So that's kind of covered there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. So thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, Deep Sieger, and Mrs. Deep Sieger, also known as STL Bunny. And we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Ta.